On Musk's social media company, X was fined 120 million euros, that is $140 million, by the European Union tech regulators on the Friday for breaching the EU online content rules, the first sanction under the landmark legislation, which will likely draw the US government's ire. Also, the rival TikTok starved off a penalty with the concessions. The Europe's crackdown on the big tech to ensure smaller visas and the rivals can compete, and also consumers have more choices, that to be criticized by the administration of the US President Donald Trump, which also says it singles out the American companies and censors the Americans. The European Commission, the EU's executive, said that its laws do not target any nationality and that it is merely defending its digital and democratic standards, which usually serve as the benchmark for the rest of the world. The EU tech chief says that fine is not censorship. The EU sanction against the X followed a 2-year-long investigation under the Bloc's Digital Services Act (DSA), which requires online platforms to do more to tackle the illegal and harmful contents. The EU's investigation of the ByteDance social media app, the TikTok, led to the charges in the May that the company had breached a DSA requirement to publish an advertisement repository allowing researchers and the users to detect scam advertisements. The European Commission's tech chief, that is Henna Virukinen, also said that the X modest fine was proportionate to the calculated based on the nature of the infringement, their gravity in terms of the affected EU users, and their duration. We are not here to impose the highest fines. We are here to make sure that our digital legislation is enforced, and if you comply with our rules, you don't get the fine. And it's as simple as that, she told the reporters. I think it's very important to underline that the DSA is having nothing to do with the censorship, the Virukinen said. She also said that forthcoming decision on the companies which also have been charged with the DSA violations are expected to take a shorter time than 2 years for the X case. I'm really expecting that we will do the final decision now faster, she said. Also, JD Vance says that EU should not attack the American companies. The Meta and the TikTok were charged with the breaching DSA transparency obligation in the October, that is while Chinese online marketplace, that is Temu, was accused of violating the rules to prevent the sale of the illegal products. X also not immediately responded to an email to request for comment ahead of the EU decision. The US Vice President JD Vance also said on the X platform, rumors swirling that the EU Commission will fine X thousands and hundreds of dollars of million were not engaging in the censorship. The EU should be supporting free speech, not attacking American companies over garbage. The TikTok, which pledged changes to the ad library to be more transparent, urged the regulators to apply the law equally and consistently across all platforms. The EU regulators said that the ex-DSA violations included the deceptive design of its blue check mark for the verified accounts, the lack of transparency of its advertising repository, and also the failure to provide the researchers access to the public data. The Commission said that the investigations into the dissemination of the illegal content on the X and measures taken to combat information manipulation and a separate probe into the TikTok's design, algorithmic systems and obligation to protect the children continue. DSA fines can be as high as 6% of the company's annual global revenue.